How's it going, troops? Jordan here, and I know I am very late with this, but I wanted to get it out of the way and do it, and that is my first impressions for the Battlefield Hardline beta. So like I said, I know it's late. The reason for that was that during the beta, when it was out, I was quite ill, and my voice wasn't up to scratch. I had a massive sore throat, so I couldn't do commentary. If I did, it'd sound horrible. I'd be going, ugh, I'd be coughing, I'd be sneezing, I'd be sniffling. So it would have been terrible, and a lot of people would have hated that. So I decided to leave it until I got a little bit better, which I can happily say I am a lot better now, to do this first impressions video. So first up is that Battlefield Hardline is very fast paced. It's definitely nothing like previous Battlefield games. So if you're used to the whole massive vehicular warfare kind of style play, this game isn't that. Okay, this game it's kind of like what Call of Duty would be if it came across Battlefield's world, if you know what I mean. So it is a lot faster paced. You do get into the action a lot more. You do come across enemies a lot more as well, which means obviously you can get a lot more kills, and it's generally a lot more faster paced action, which that's something good. And another thing that I noticed that I want to point out is that the maps in Battlefield Hardline, well, at least the three that we came across, which I believe were Dust Bowl, Downtown, and Bank Job. I think that was the last one. So there were three maps. But from what I played with these three maps, the maps in Battlefield Hardline are a lot smaller compared to previous Battlefield games. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think this is quite good, especially if Call of Duty players wanted to try out a Battlefield game. I've played Battlefield since Bad Company 2, so I'm kind of used to what Battlefield is like compared to Call of Duty or any other FPS game. But for those COD players that want to give Battlefield a go, but also want to have a similar feel to Call of Duty, I say Battlefield Hardline will definitely help those players out in doing so, with its fast-paced action and smallish maps. Well, obviously the maps aren't small, but compared to previous Battlefield games, the maps are quite small. So if that makes any sense to you. So next up on my list is Hotwire. Now this is a very fun game mode. When I think it was my first game I played Hotwire. I think it was on Downturn. Sorry, not Downturn. Downtown. I'm thinking of was it Downturn in Modern Warfare 3? God, I'm getting confused with those maps. But yeah, Downtown, Hotwire. It's definitely fun. It's essentially like Conquest in previous Battlefield games, except rather than capping flags, you have to actually hotwire and capture cars. And once you've successfully made a hotwire to one of the cars, they have like a little label above their head where it's A, B, C, etc. But once you hotwire the cars, you've got to keep driving with the car. So you've got to keep driving it as long as you can, and obviously because you'll keep capturing it, so you'll get more points, and obviously people will ride with you. That will help them get some points. But basically, it'll help the team out in getting more tickets, or is it more tickets down? I think it is. To the point where you'll win. So it is very fun, and I think a lot of people will like this mode. If you didn't play the beta, you kind of did miss out a lot, because I like this mode, and I definitely think a lot of people will like Hotwire. Next up is easy sniping. Now we're not talking about quick scoping, but it is similar on the lines of it. The sniping in Battlefield Hardline, again, I immediately noticed this. And I remember, I think a buddy of mine notified me of this. He said, "Have you tried out the snipers yet?" And I said no. But when I did try him out, I can see what he kind of meant when he said, "Have you tried them? You better try them." So basically, the sniping in Battlefield Hardline is very easy compared to previous Battlefield games. Obviously, there's still bullet drop, and it's still one shot kill when you shoot him in the head. It's still 2-hit kill if you shoot him in the body. So it's just like that in other Battlefield games. But in terms of sway, it feels a lot easier. So I kind of think of it as Modern Warfare 3 sniping, but with bullet drop and only 1-hit kill to the head. So that's how I feel about the sniping in Battlefield Hardline. Now, I don't know whether this is good or bad, because I was getting a bit frustrated, at times when I got killed by snipers. So I'm not too sure about the sniping. I don't know whether it's good or bad, but it is what it is. Next up is a Levolution event. So there are Levolution events in Battlefield Hardline. I wouldn't say they're as massive as the ones in previous Battlefield games, but they are quite cool nonetheless. So, events such as there's a sandstorm, I believe, on Dust Bowl, and on downtown there's like this crane, which I think if you take out the bottom part of the crane will come crashing down, and could cause a little bit of distress, block off part of the road. But it's pretty cool to have the Levolution events back in. I didn't think Bank Job had a Levolution event. Maybe it does. I don't think having the little bank vaults open, I don't think that's the the Levolution event. But at least we got to see some Levolution events anyway. Now, here's another thing I want to point out is the time to kill in Battlefield Hardline feels a lot quicker than in previous Battlefield games. So again, I'm not sure if this is good or bad. It feels like I was, getting all my bullets on target, and I was actually killing people. I wasn't getting hit markers for days like in other Battlefield games. So I don't know whether this is good or not. But it is what it is. I was getting kills. It felt like the time to kill was a lot quicker. So I don't know whether this will be altered in the final version of Battlefield Hardline, because don't forget this is a beta, so obviously it might change in the final game. But the time to kill did feel a lot quicker in the beta. Next on my list is the movement animation. Now, I like the movement animation in Battlefield Hardline. It seems very fluent, seems very sleek, very cool. It's not exactly like Battlefield 3 movement or Battlefield 4 movement. It's I don't know. It's kind of like its own taste of of those kind of movement animations, but it is pretty cool nonetheless. The HUD, or the the heads-up display or the HUD, to me it feels very cluttered. When I first hopped onto Battlefield Hardline, I was like, okay, cool, this is going to be like Battlefield 4. Until I looked at the HUD and I thought, okay, there are some things that are a little bit different, and there were some different parts, like I think the health bar, and also like the health bar for your vehicle that you're in. They're very small, and it's kind of hard to make out, which is your vehicle health and which is your health. So things like that, it's kind of very small, very cluttered. It's not easy to make out. And even now, after the beta's over with, and after playing it with it for some time, it's still very confusing. So in the final build, I'd say Visceral, you need to make the HUD a lot easier, just so that people like me can kind of make out what is what. But apart from that, I like the HUD, but like I said, it is quite cluttered and not exactly easy to make out, so that needs to be worked on. Next on my list is the loading times. So the loading times in the Battlefield Hardline beta were very quick, which is something that I did like. I don't know why they were quicker than any other Battlefield game, but it's like once it started loading, like 2 seconds later, boom, you're already in the match. So it's very cool. I like how they've done it fast. I don't know why it's faster than normal Battlefield games. I don't know whether that's supposed to happen or not, but the loading times were quite quick, so that's quite good. You can earn money. Now, this is to do with currency in a Battlefield Hardline. Apparently, you can earn money through getting kills, playing objective, blah 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 blah, and you can use that money to buy gadgets, weapons, etc. So, I loved the Call of Duty point system back in Black Ops. So, I'm quite happy to see that there is some kind of currency system in Battlefield Hardline. Now, I don't know whether you can buy everything with money, but it seems that you can buy gadgets and a lot of weapons with the money. I believe it's in dollars, so you can buy it, all these things with the money. So I quite like that, because like I said, I loved Call of Duty points back in Black Ops. So I think having currency in Battlefield Hardline, it changes it up from like a normal Battlefield game. So I think this is quite cool. Next on my list is the zipline. Now, the zipline, I used it a few times. The zipline is very fun. Okay, I like the ability to just shoot from one building to another, shoot it, and then just ride it across wee. And it's it's very cool. I like the zipline. That's one thing I do like. So I think it's quite fun. So if you had enough money, definitely buy the zipline. It's so fun. Next on my list is helicopters. Now, I don't know why, or I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm just crap, I don't know, but the helicopters feel a lot harder to control in Battlefield Hardline. Now, I don't think this is just me, I think a few other people have, picked up upon this. I'm pretty decent with Battlefield 4 choppers. I know that back in like Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3, I wasn't exactly the best at Battlefield, but I have played a lot of Battlefield now, and I've gained the experience and knowledge to actually control, like the helicopter, control its movements, strafing, yawing, whatever. So I can definitely control my choppers in Battlefield 4. But I don't know why, but when you get hit, when your chopper gets hit in Battlefield Hardline, or whether you're trying to stray from left to right, it feels like it's kind of hard to control. Like it's almost like you get hit and that's it. You're taken out of the sky for good, and there's no way of coming back. Or if you accidentally strafe a bit too far to the right, that's it. You'd gone for. Whereas in normal Battlefield games, it's kind of like it works fine. So I don't know what's with the choppers in Battlefield Hardline. Like I said, maybe I'm just crap with the choppers, but I have had quite a lot of experience using those kind of vehicles. So I don't see why I'm saying it feels harder. I don't know why. Maybe it is or not. Let me know in the comment section if you feel the choppers are harder to control in Battlefield Hardline. I'll be interested to know. And finally, the last thing on my list is, now this is something negative, and that is lag. So during the Hardline beta, I did notice quite a few number of lag spikes. Now, granted, this is a beta, it's not the final build, but this has me worried because if you remember Battlefield 4's launch, oh my god, it took about 6 months, and even after then there were issues. With lag, with server issues, with hit detections not working right. Lag was a major issue in Battlefield 4's launch, and it definitely put a lot of people off the game. So this kind of has me a little bit worried with Battlefield Hardline. Like I said, there were only lag spikes, it wasn't continuous lag, but even then, it really does need to be sorted out, and servers need to be completely stable at launch, because, I know Battlefield Hardline, I know a lot of people might not buy it, but still, that's not the point. The point is, you need to make a point, because if, obviously with the issues with Battlefield 4's launch, this will need to make a point and prove that that they're not gonna let Battlefield Hardline go to crap when it launches. They are going to keep supporting it. The servers are going to be stable. They need to prepare for the launch of Battlefield Hardline. That's what they need to do. So I'm a little bit worried about what happens at launch. I think hopefully this will have everything sorted. I don't want to see another Battlefield 4 launch for the Battlefield franchise, because that seriously was a massive letdown to a lot of Battlefield players. So hopefully everything goes capiche. So that concludes my first impressions, or generally my first impressions for the Battlefield Hardline beta. Overall, I thought it was a great beta. Servers were steady for the most part. I remember there was one point where there was issues with the servers. Again, this kind of points me into the worried side, but there was an issue with the servers where you couldn't actually search for servers. So Visceral pointed that out and said, "Oh, just go for quick match and you'll get put into a normal match straight away." So I think it was just a little technical fault with the server searching and all that. So hopefully that will get fixed, and hopefully that will be sorted out for Battlefield Hardline's launch. There are improvements that still need to be made, and Visceral Games are definitely well aware of it. So hopefully they'll fix any issues that people had, or any bugs that they found in the game, ready for Battlefield Hardline's launch. A lot of people have said that Battlefield Hardline is basically Battlefield 4 just copy and pasted with a new lick of paint on it. Do I say that? Do I think it's a Battlefield 4 copy and paste? Not really. After playing it for myself, I definitely don't think it's a Battlefield 4 copy and paste. The UI is just like Battlefield 4's, and the gameplay kind of does feel like a normal Battlefield game, but like I said, it's nothing like Battlefield 4. Like, I've played Battlefield 4, I've played Battlefield Hardline beta, they're nothing alike. They may be the same franchise, and they may feel the same, but, in terms of when you play it, in terms of gameplay, they feel completely different. So it's not a copy and paste of Battlefield 4, like a lot of people said. However, chances are I'm not going to buy Battlefield Hardline. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad or anything like that. To me, it's not a proper Battlefield game, and what I mean by proper, I mean a normal, all-out war Battlefield game, that a lot of people have played, and, we all know. It's not that, and that's what I look for in a Battlefield game. I look for all-out war, just normal first-person shooter chaos, with Battlefield. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm most likely not going to be buying Battlefield Hardline, which means that the next Battlefield game I'm going to be getting is most likely going to be Battlefield 5, or as some people wish, Bad Company 3. I'd love it if they did make a Bad Company 3, just because I liked Bad Company's campaign and Bad Company 2's campaign, but I'm not too sure. I mean, this is EA, it's not like it's Valve, so, you know, Bad Company 3 is definitely a possibility, but I'm sticking with Battlefield 5 for now. But anyway, troops, if you did enjoy my first impressions video, then give the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it a lot. Let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of the Battlefield Hardline beta, and whether or not you're going to be picking up a copy of Battlefield Hardline when it launches. I'd be interested to know. If this is the first video of mine that you've seen and you liked what you saw, then do consider subscribing, it will definitely help me out a lot. And until next video, thank you for watching, stay tuned with me troops, and I'll see you in game.